Hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk Drum with a 501 World, Jill Spinell. We are in a 2025 Ram 1500 Tungsten, and I'm going to ask you guys a question. It's going to be an interesting question. Is it a big miss, or who cares? And I want to talk about the steering wheel. It came up in the comments. Jill and I were doing some Chevy Silverado Drive EV stuff, and I was answering comments, and I talked to Ram about it, because I got this guy blowing me up in the comments, about the lack of a power adjustable steering wheel. So that's the case. So I want to talk about this because I got some insight from Ram, and I was gonna do a YouTube short, but I feel like this is
actually
really interesting. So I'm gonna, in this video, we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna set up my seating position. I'm gonna assume dudes much taller than me are gonna fit in this easily because this is full size trucks, big deal. Yeah. But she is the 98th percentile or
5th percentile female.
Yeah. So
I'm the lowest common denominator that automakers tend to design for.
Right. So if they can fit for Jill, it can fit for somebody
5'1", 5'2".
3 times your size.
Yeah.
It totally works. So what are we talking about here? So this is the new Tungsten, and this is all trim levels of Ram trucks. This is all. This is just happened to be a Tungsten we're in at this Midwest Automotive Media Association event. But all of them don't have it.
Yeah, this is the top tier trim.
Right.
So if this doesn't have it, nothing else is going to have it.
And I talked to Ram. They do not offer it. Here's what I'm talking about. It's right here. It is an adjustment lever here. You let that go, and we have a manual tilt and telescoping steering wheel. Okay, that's how that works. So I'm gonna set it in a position, and boom. So $80,000 truck, no power steering wheel, and that got some people really frustrated. So I talked to Ram about it, and they said, well, hold on a minute, hold on, let's check out what we're doing here. Look at this. We have, according to Ram, I'm gonna quote them here, this is a 24-way power adjustable seat here with different seating positions. That's 10 ways more adjustable than the competitors. Most competitors, I've never heard of a 24.
Lincoln,
yeah, I was like, I'm like 14,
seats.
Yeah.
Lincoln has like 24, 36.
Yeah.
It has a lot of adjustments.
Okay, so this has got major adjustments, and we have right here, we have power adjustable pedals. So what Ram had said to me was, look, we have power adjustable pedals, and we have that you can't find in other brands. Sorry, Chevy Silverado, they don't offer them anymore.
Nope.
Ford offers them, Ram offers them, Toyota doesn't offer them, and that's the only brands selling full-size trucks.
Yep.
We have 24 power way adjustable seat. So they're saying if you can't find the seating position, well, something's wrong with you.
You're not
Which
trying
we'll find out.
enough.
We'll find out with Joe. But
right.
So for me, I'm just gonna talk for me from a standpoint. I feel like I have a good seating position. I feel like I got, you want your wrist over the steering wheel. It makes it nice, relaxed coming back. I feel like this steering wheel tilts, telescopes, other stuff. I mean, does power, not having power bother me? Not really. I mean, I think I get it set up the way I want it, and then I drive my truck most of the time anyways. If my wife drove it, we'd have different set buttons. But if I set these buttons and move it around, maybe the steering wheel stays at the same spot. And there's some other arguments you can get into about angle for crashes and airbags, that kind of stuff. But anyways, this is what matters. So and this seat, I'm gonna get out, I'm gonna demonstrate this. This seat, as I get out. So we have the head. I can move the head back and forth.
I love
kind of crazy, right? It's like do. And then we can move the top of the seat. So I could see that coming out.
Yeah.
And that's going back. It's gonna be right there. I can move it back. I can move it back up. I can get this long hair out of the way. This is not my long hair.
It is not mine either.
It's not mine. No, no, not our hair. And then I can do the bottom seat, right? So I can go back and forth, and then I got a button here that would probably control this.
Yeah, I love
Kicks
that.
that out too. So I mean, my goodness, this seat is like so multi-adjustable. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then if you haven't seen these pedals coming out, and they come back. Okay, so I feel like I don't really need to mess with the steering wheel, because when I hop in, even if I have this, let's say I take the seat all the way back. So I take the seat all the way back, and say I mess around with it a little bit. Even when I get in and I find my seating position, I'm pretty far away at the moment, but like I'm not worried about the steering wheel. I'm worried about moving the seat forward. So that's how I do things. How does Jill do things? Can Jill find a position? Now Jill's gonna be crafty here. She is not going to get outside.
No, I'm not.
I can just see look in her face. She's not getting outside. Oh, great, cryingly. So, all right, come on.
How does Jill do things?
How does Jill do things? Yes. So, let's do this. Let's maybe let me roll down the window. I'm gonna shut the door because I want to film you doing this, but I need to get in the spot. So, okay. So hold on before we move. Yes, and one of the things you've noticed in different vehicles is your knee against the dash here, right? You've had some issues with that. Right. I mean, so you know, problems you had in vehicles like seeing over the dash, knees there. So here we go. How would you set this up? And the question I have for you, and the question that I think people are going to have, is: are you going to focus on messing with the steering wheel, or are you going to focus on messing with the seat? That's going to be I think the key question.
So, I mean, one of the first things I want to say about the steering wheel is I actually really like the manual adjustment better, because what I do is I literally push it as far away from me as I can, and then I get it so that the top of the steering wheel is just right here. And you saw that was literally just two motions. You know, I locked this back into place. If I had a power adjustment, I would be like...
Yeah, and even with the seat button, if you press seat button, you got to wait for the steering wheel to move.
Right.
So this is actually faster for you.
So I push it all the way, I get it right so it's just topping the dash, and then, you know, I'm going to start with the adjustments. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure the pedals are all the way out.
Okay. All right.
Because this comes down really low, and so one of the problems I do have is, and I keep reaching for the adjustment on the side of the seat. One of the problems I do have is, you know, when I have adjusted the seat for me, to reach the pedals, then my knees are
your knees are so close
to the dash, and so, you know, I try to adjust my foot so that my foot's almost too small for this pedal. Oh, that's kind of sad. So this is a case where I'd want the pedal to come down a little bit further. Me and my size 1 kid shoes are almost not quite cutting it, but so I want to rest my heel on the ground and put my toe on the top of the pedal. And then, you know, I'm also like adjusting for height. So I'm, even with the pedals all the way out, like I'm still getting close to this right here. So, and I will say the seat bottom, I wish, like, because they have this lovely adjustment here, I wish it like went in just a little bit further. I wish that there was the ability to make the seat bottom a little bit smaller. So, yeah, I've got the adjustment. I've got, you know, my wrist is just going over the steering wheel. I have more than 10 inches between my chest and the airbag that would be coming out of this right here. Which that is the federal recommendation. So people think you get too close in videos. That's the federal recommendation. The federal recommendation, yes. And so, so I don't like... It's like a robot. It's like such a crazy thing. So, I mean, now I'm gonna be looking, no, that's not it. I'm looking for the lumbar support area. So I would also adjust the lumbar, because what I want is that it'll push me forward a little bit more. And I'm like, do they have, because I feel like, so seats, so you can also do some more adjustments here. So the lumbar in and out, so I'm gonna push the lumbar out so that I can, you know, it gives me a little bit more support in my lower back, because I'm kind of slumped a little bit at the moment. But yeah, so for me, I actually really prefer to not have a power adjustable steering wheel, because again, it's just two things, whereas if you have this button, you're like so for me, I mean, the more important, so that's good. So let me do the side thing here. So yeah, so this is what it looks like from the side. And this is her seating position. Again, if you're a taller person, the steering wheel comes out, you go all the way back. I think it fits everybody. And that's what we're talking about, like her shoe and the side, and then this there. So that's a position you'd have. So you found a comfortable spot for you. And it took a minute, not even a minute, it took a millisecond to adjust the steering wheel. Yeah. And so, you know, I just, and I'm like, why am I not feeling the lumbar adjustments? It's because I was adjusting the passenger seat. So So yeah, but so I just
Let me come around. I want to see that
Okay.
stuff. Yeah. So she just there's too much stuff going on here, Ram. We're trying to adjust all sorts of stuff. We just, well, we need to live with these vehicles longer, I guess, than a couple days, because this is complexity. All right, so coming up over here, so I want to see the screen. This is the bigger screen. This is the tungsten. It's the high trim level. But oh, so you have seats, front, driver. You were down there, passenger. So
yeah, I'm like, why am I not feeling the lumbar? There should be more than that. Helps if you hit the right screen. But then you can like move it up or down depending on where you want it. You know, you've got the back bolster. So I mean, you can start here, but I didn't see a lumbar adjustment on this, so you have to come into this screen, and I hit this comfort button down here, button, and then you can do the seats. And oh, by the way, yeah, you can have a massage.
yeah, we might be here for a little while. Okay, so what do you guys think? Is this a big miss or not a big deal? I mean, it's the seat is so customizable. I can understand Ram's point of view.
Right.
But it's also like if you're spending $80,000 for a truck, I could see some of you guys' viewpoint saying, man, why don't you have a power adjustable steering wheel? That just seems like it's a no-brainer. I don't know. It's an interesting question. So
it is an interesting question.
so we were talking about it on the drive up here, and we're like, we kept talking about it, talking more and more about it, thinking through different angles, and it's got a lot of conversation. So yeah, there you go.
Yep. Nope. Like I said, I want to push it away, and yeah.
There you go. Yeah. All right, hey, for more, check videos up over here. Website down below as well, pickuptrucktalk.com. As always, thanks for watching. We will see you down the road after our massage.
Yeah.